All right, we have a drawing. And this is good for when, for example, we want to put our kids' drawings on a shirt or something. All right, so we start with filter, artistic, and we're going to photocopy. And we're going to start with putting some white in it to get rid of all those little like pencil areas. And this erases more, but you know there's some shading there, so we can lower this a little bit. That really didn't make a difference. This makes your black thicker. See? That doesn't look too bad. Excuse me. This does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay. All right, let's start with that. So we got this. Then you'll go to colors, brightness and contrast, and this is going to also take out some of all that speckles and whatever in the background, like if you see the tongue. And with this picture, you really don't have much to erase because a lot of that shading you might want, but I'm going to put it like that. And there's still some of the tongue, so we can actually take a little bit more and just kind of not worry about the shading right now. Colors, brightness and contrast, and there. Okay. Excuse me. And then we're going back to artistic and we're going to go to cartoon. And then what this does is that it makes the black darker, and you can even make it thicker with the radius. See? And then that's how you get your like outline of your kid's drawing. Let's put OK. Now, there's another way that I take this a step further from just doing this. File, export as, and we're just gonna put Pluto. JPEG, that's fine. I'm gonna put in my desktop, export, and then we're gonna go to Inkscape, which I love. So this is our original picture, which I'm gonna show you. And then where's my other Pluto? Oh, he's up there. And this is my other one. Okay. And then you can see them. Make sure you lock this. You can see them side by side. Okay, so let's say I want to make these lines thicker. So I will go first to trace bitmap, and I'll hit update. Now this is turning into SVG file. I'm gonna raise this and update, raise it more. That looks pretty good. Okay, that's good. Press OK. And now I have an SVG file. Now I don't recommend you use this to cut because of all the little pieces, but hey, you can if you want to, because it is kind of smooth. But I want this thicker. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna pick outset. And if you see that didn't change much, and I'm gonna show you how you can make it change more. So you'll go to Edit, Preferences, and here in Behavior, you're gonna go to Steps, and this Inset Outset is my favorite. I mean, the scale by, all that, the arrows, I love it. Inset Outset, you're going to raise this. You can raise it to 1 pixel, you can put it to 0.5, 0.7, 0.7, let's do 0.7. Close that, and then we're gonna go back to Path and Outset, and I made it darker. Now, if you think you wanna keep it at that setting, just because you don't want to keep going back and forth with behavior, you can just, let me duplicate it so you can see. If you make it smaller, or if you make it bigger, it makes a huge difference in how the outset is going to respond to the picture, because the pixels are different. So Path, Outset, and then Path, Outset. Okay, so 2 examples. With your outset, let's go to Edit, Preferences, Steps, and I'm going to go low, 0.2 pixels right here, Inset Outset. You can either do that and set it lower each time, so it can be just a little bit. So we'll put Path, Outset, Path, Outset. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's getting thicker. Say undo, undo. Okay. Now, if your object was smaller, you can really tell. Let's do it a little bit smaller. I want you to kind of see, you know what, let's bring it up. I want you to kind of see the difference, that you can either enlarge it or make it smaller for it to make a difference. Hope you can understand what that means. Let's try it again. So let's compare this one with this one. So this will be easier. I'm trying to like do it where you can see the difference, but it's kind of not showing it because all it's doing is getting darker. But let's say, for instance, this area right here, this is a smaller version of this exact same thing. You know what, this will be better. Let me duplicate that and make this extra big. Okay, now we have mini Pluto, and we're gonna outset, and it's outset at 0.5, and then we have giant Pluto, outset. Okay. So if you look at this area right here, when the image is smaller, it makes a bigger effect to 0.5, and it kind of connected this area. But if your image is larger, see, it's still separated. And I can enlarge this to this size, and you will see the difference. Okay, it's about the same. It's about there. It's just to give you an idea. Okay, so this is the little one with the 0.05, and that is the big one with the 0.05. So you see that this is not connected. So you can thicken the line by either changing your behavior in preferences or by just enlarging and making it smaller. Okay, so that is to get your outline of a picture that was drawn. As you can see, it's not the exact same image, but this is what I also like to do. This is our original, from this to then this. This is what I also like to do when I have a picture that was drawn. I just sharpen the edges, and if you change this more to a pencil color, look at that, pretty. And you still have the original under, but your lines are more, your outlines more defined. See, and you can use that as your shirt. And you can even get this same one and make it just a little bit darker. See? Okay, now, how if we want to clean all this up? Because remember, we still have this to clean up as your background. We can't do that, and this is what I like to do. I like to use Gimp to do that. So this is the original, and my favorite tool is select by color. So here on your wand, there's your right click, select by color, and I select white. See? Now I like to zoom to see exactly what's going to get erased or painted white. Okay. And I'll go to the paintbrush, and I always pick like a big size just so that I can cover as much as I can. And just like that, we paint over that. Select none. Now you can go a step further and keep doing that, but there's so much gray tones. Let me give you an example. Let's say if we click white again and we raise the threshold. See, now you're covering more of that light gray, but it's going to lighten your shading. And I'll show you. See, select none. And I mean, if you want it like that, that's fine, but that's pretty much what we ended up with this. So you can do that and then do all your steps to get in your outline also, and then go and get your SVG. Okay, so let's do undo. Undo paintbrush and select none. Okay, so here's our original. What we can do is make our brush smaller and just kind of go in there and get rid of some of this stuff just to clean it up a little bit. And it really depends on how much work you want to do. Like when I'm pressed on time, I try to do my best, but of course, the minimum. Okay, there we go. See? And it's nice and clean. Get rid of some of this. These brushes, I can never figure it out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then from here, we can do all our steps like we did here. And we'll go to Filter, Artistic, Photocopy. And we can try to see if we can get more of our shading. See, we won't need all that white. We can kind of lower it. It's not doing much. Sharpness. That looks pretty good too. See, we can do something like that. Get rid of more white. See, and you have a little bit more shading in there. Edit and do photocopy. Or we can just go to, skip the whole photocopy and go to your brightness and contrast. And let's get that contrast up. And you can do something like that. Brightness kind of lightens your dark lines, so I've usually just go the opposite way. Get your contrast up. Nope, that looks pretty good. And then we go back to Artistic, Cartoon. And of course you can go dark, you can go light, you can thicken your lines. And of course, when it's cleaner, it makes it easier since you're only dealing with your shaded area and not all the other pencil marks that we try to get rid of in this picture. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, let me put this back to Artistic, Cartoon. Okay, and let's hit OK. And I'm going to File, Export As, and we're going to put Pluto Clean, JPEG on desktop, yes. export, and then I'm going to go back to the original when we just cleaned it up. Okay, and I'm going to export that also. Pluto clean 2, doesn't really matter, export. Okay, so let's get those in our Inkscape. Pluto clean, okay, and then Pluto clean 2, okay. Okay, and I'm gonna show you now how this one looks with our outlined from the very beginning, which is, you know, minimum shading. Put it on top. Mm-hmm. You see? And we can change this color to a color that's in here. It's pretty dark right there. Darkish right there. Yes. And you can say, hey, this is, you know, my son drew that, or my daughter drew that. And then, of course, we have this one. I think this one looks pretty just like it is. You can even just print that and use that as your picture. Now let's see if we trace this. See, the shading really like gets too overwhelming with turning it into an SVG. But again, you can use this as your overlay of your original picture. And I do that sometimes when I just want to make an image look darker. But I want to keep its characteristics, like the shading part. See? And that's this is our original. I think I like this just like that. I mean, this one just like that. I really like this one. Let me see if we were to put this one on top of that one. That looks pretty good. Make it in black. No, black is too dark. Okay, so you have so many options. This one needs to be a lighter brown. And I think I will cover that up. See if having this filled would be better, look better. Yeah, I tried to fill it. It didn't work. This is easier for me. Okay. Yep. Looks better. Don't know what that is, but we're going to get rid of it. Delete. Okay. There we go. So this is the clean one. This is the non-clean one. This is the original. And we can, darker. There we go. And of course, if you want to fill those in, you can do so. I can get rid of this too. And I just delete the little circles. Oops. Okay. And this will look great on like a little onesie or something. Or I mean a shirt, but I think I might end up printing it and putting it on my nephew's onesie. Send it to him. Okay, so this is how you will outline, you know, a drawing that your child made. So what color is Pluto? That looks more like Pluto. And then, of course, you also have the option of, let's say, coloring it. You know? Come on. That's it. Pluto's that color. I don't even know. Don't even know. Okay, I'm selecting all three, path union. Put it there, send it back, and then up one. Let's see if we make it a little bit more. I don't think that's Pluto's color. I think he's like yellowish, maybe. Something like that, right? I don't know. You get what I'm trying to do. I think he is yellow. I don't remember. Maybe something like that. And you can do the tongue and so forth. So I'm going to print this out and I'm going to put it in a onesie and you'll get a picture at the end. Okay. So I got an image of Pluto so I could get the right colors. And what I did was select my image. Nope. There we go. And I used my dropper and picked the right color. And I did the same with the tongue. Now, if you want to give it watercolor effect, let's start with, I use this one because it's more clean. I'm going to get the eyes just so that I can have them. Let's put them here. Path union, that's so they can become one. And we go to our picture. And this is, nope. Nope. Come on. Okay, let's see. Nope. There we go. All right. So a little watercolor effect. Blur. see? And you can make it lighter, you can make it darker if you want, but that blur is kind of going outside of the line, which is what you want to do. And we can do it to the tongue. See? And then we're going to use the eyes to kind of stay consistent with the whiteness of, you know, our eyes. Up, up. There we go. And you can fix this. You can move this out the way. We can do it all white and then bring the line down. See? Now let's say you don't want this yellow all up in here. So what we do is just move it. Select, and I'm selecting by shift and click, and I move it up. Get a little bit of the yellow out of the inside of the mouth. That's not too bad, so I can just move it over. Move this one over. Maybe I will put that down a little. See? And that's going to be my baby's shirt.